What's up, guys? Thank you for tuning into episode 5. Made it to episode 5. We're going to talk about some cool things today. First, I want to talk about some things from yesterday. Yesterday, we talked about trademark law, and there's a little bit of confusion on it. So let me just make sure I clear some things for some people that I may not have explained as well. When you have a trademark, you can just put, as you create your logo or create your brand, you can put the TM behind it. You can do that for free. Doesn't cost any money. You just put it up there. But if you register with the government, that TM changes into an R, and that gives you a greater level of protection that you wouldn't get if you didn't register with the government. As well as you can register in the US, but if you want to register internationally, you register under the Madrid system. And once you register it under the Madrid system, now you have coverage in over 100 countries around the globe. So I hope I explained it well enough, and hopefully that provides some insight to people. Today I want to focus more on business. One of the first videos I did, people were saying like, why do you recommend buying a business versus starting a business? Now, a couple of reasons I recommend buying a business is because, one, you're inheriting all the failures of that business owner. So you can skip that stage, because starting a business is tough. I think the facts show that the majority of businesses fail in their first year. So when you're starting a business, it's very, very difficult. And when you're starting a business, you want to start in an industry where there's like a big gap in the market. And that's becoming a little bit more challenging. So if you don't have an idea that actually has a strong gap, and when you have a strong competitive advantage, it may be better just to buy a business. Whether you're buying a business or starting a business, you're going to be spending a lot of money on marketing, on just buying supplies, on whatever it may be. You're going to be spending a lot of money. So focus on something that potentially you can skip that step and towards buying a business. Because if you look at the numbers also, I mentioned baby boomers own the majority of businesses. I think I saw a study that said baby boomers control roughly 2/3 of all businesses in the US, and they're getting ready to retire. Some of them can't retire because they have a business. So you can potentially buy those businesses, particularly if you want to deal in small market, we're dealing in small businesses industries, for example, healthcare, whatever it may be, and you can use the small business loan to help you buy that business. All you need is 10% down and a 650 credit score, and anyone can do that. So, and the reason I recommend buying a business is because there's so many industries that are fragmented. For example, you look at convenience stores. Convenience stores are typically owned by a mom and pop, or they're owned by a family, and they've been owning it for 20, 30 years. What you could do is you can basically buy a convenience store, and then buy another one, and then buy another one, and then buy another one, and then that way you can have maximum profit, because you can be able to buy in bigger bulk, and you can reduce some of the redundancies. Like, you can reduce, instead of having a general manager for each store, you can just have one general manager that's covering all the stores. And the idea is that wealth is built over a series of transactions. So every time you buy a business, you take some money out for yourself, for your wealth. And a lot of the reasons these businesses can't sell, that are owned by these baby boomers and these mom and pop shops, is because they've literally built that business from ground up for the last 20, 30 years. And so now it's time to sell that business so they can retire, but they want a crazy amount of money for it that the market just doesn't offer, and no one's willing to pay the value that they actually see in their business. Because if the business is generating X amount of dollars, you'll give it a multiple. Say, for example, the business is generating $100,000 in cash flow a year. That's what it's generating after all the expenses are paid. When it's time to sell that business, you give it a multiple of like roughly between 3 to 5. So you'll begin to buy that business at $300,000 because it's generating $100,000 in cash. You give it a multiple of 3. That's some of the ways you can value businesses. I have a video. You can go to globallaw.tv/university about how to buy a business, all the legal implications of it. Because as I mentioned, you're going to deal with SBA loans. That comes with financing agreements. That comes with starting up a new business, as well as you can combine it. You can have seller financing, which is where the owner will give you a loan that you'll pay back to the owner. You can combine that with the SBA loan, and then you'll be able to put 10% down to cover the entire purchase price. So and then a couple months later, you can actually use some of that working capital out of the business you bought to buy another business, and then buy another business, and buy another business. And then 4 or 5 years go by, you own a ton of convenience stores, a ton of businesses in that industry. And it can be really any industry you want, as long as it's approved by the SBA. And every bank has their own specialties in what businesses they actually want to invest in. So figure out which bank want to invest into the industry that you own. And that's the way you can be successful. And that doesn't require like an astronomical amount of knowledge. It doesn't require you being a lawyer. It doesn't require you having an MBA. It doesn't require you really graduating from high school. You just need to have in many ways just have courage and a little bit of information. I just gave you the information so you can combine it with some courage and you can be extremely, extremely successful in life. And life in many ways is just about just believing, having an internal belief, and then just acting upon it. Now you may have some unfortunate downfalls and some learning experiences, but you'll bounce back up because you have the confidence in yourself that you say no matter what, I will be successful in life. I can change not only my life, but the life of my friends and my family members around me. So that's really what life is about, just believing in yourself and just acting on it and just learning as much as you can. Global Law Media, we're here for that. globallaw.tv, go check us out. I mentioned Trademarks earlier. My friend Phil Lewis, we did a video. He's an entertainment lawyer out in Los Angeles. We did a video where he's actually explaining the difference between a trademark, copyright, and patent. Those are important things and important distinctions that you must understand. So thank you for tuning in. This has been episode 5. I'm pretty thrilled I made it to episode 5 relatively quickly, and I believe in celebrating the small victories. And I was in Cuba a while ago. I have a Cuba Law video. Go to globallaw.tv and look at that video of me in Cuba. And I have some Cuban cigars. I have all the types you can probably want. There's a Cohiba. This is the Romeo and Juliet. And this is the Monte Cristo. This is nice. So I'm going to celebrate. Thank you for tuning in. I'll do this tomorrow. And I hope you all have a great day. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.